You guys, Paradigm has knocked it out of the park with these speakers. They don't just look beautiful, but the sound wraps around you like a warm cloud that you could just lay on and listen to for hours. But we are getting ahead of ourselves a little. I just had to get that out of the way. So stick around to find out why I feel that way about the beautiful Paradigm Founder 120H floor standing speakers. I'm Barrett, this is Spec of Tech. Welcome to the channel. In a recent video, I unboxed and gave my first impressions of the Founder 120H tower speakers. In that video, I gushed about them, which can happen sometimes after you first get something, but then after you spend some time with them, you start to find things that you don't like. This has happened to all of us before, but not in this case. That doesn't mean that these floor standers are perfect or perfect for all situations. We will cover all that and more in this video, so stick around, get comfy in front of your home system or with a good pair of headphones to make sure that you get the best experience for the demos that are yet to come. Before we get into the warm thickness of the 120H towers, why not subscribe, tick the bell icon if you do, and please take just one teeny tiny second to hit that like button. If you are looking for the unboxing and the basic specs of these speakers, check out my previous video first before watching this one. It's linked in the top right hand corner of this video, and then come back to this full review. Let's get one more thing out of the way so that there are no misconceptions on this review. I paid for these speakers with my own money. Nobody has had any influence on what I'm about to say. They are my own thoughts and my own opinions. I bought these speakers from an amazing local Calgary, Alberta audio store called Base Electronics. Anybody in the area should go check them out. Make sure to let Rick and John know that I sent you. They are great guys and will definitely take care of you. Their website is also linked down in the description below. All right, let's get the price and some quick basic specs out of the way on these beauties. They are priced at $8,500 US per pair at the time of this recording. They are a 5-driver, 3-way ported hybrid floor standing speaker. The drivers consist of a 1-inch ceramic dome tweeter, a 6-inch mid-range driver, and 3 powered 8-inch woofers. Paradigm utilized their proprietary PPA lenses on the tweeter and the mid-range driver, and their Active Ridge technology on the mid-range and the 3 8-inch woofers. They really did pull out all the stops and packed in as much sonic technology as they could to provide you with breathtaking sound. Some of you may be wondering what a hybrid speaker is. All that means is that each one of these speakers has a 1000 watt RMS amp built in to power the 3 8-inch woofers for powerful and impactful bass. Because they are a hybrid, Paradigm was able to include anthem room correction in the speakers as well, meaning you can calibrate these speakers specifically to your room for the best sound possible. If you want more detailed specs, feel free to check out my unboxing video that I previously mentioned, or a quick Google search will also give you all the specs that you could ever want. All right, let's get down and dirty into this review, starting with the build quality and aesthetics. I've made it well known that I absolutely love the look of these speakers. I feel Paradigm nailed the design. Because they wanted these speakers to pay homage to Paradigm's roots, I believe they attempted to mix a classic yet modern look. In my opinion, they absolutely accomplished this. Every aspect of this speaker was blended together with a meticulous attention to detail. Paradigm implemented an angled internal brace, which does help with standing waves, but it also provides a cool angular line down each side of the cabinet. It reminds me of the sharp but well implemented lines used on supercars like the McLaren F1 or some of the Lamborghinis. It isn't exactly groundbreaking, but it absolutely adds some visual appeal. The Midnight Cherry finish melds into the black brushed aluminum front baffle. The dark tones in the cherry invite the dark contrast of the black aluminum. I commend Paradigm for their choice of material here. The dark baffle provides a modern look, and the Midnight Cherry flanking on either side adds just enough color. Somehow they are able to blend into my system, yet still stand out enough to bring some attention to their looks. The polished machine circle around each driver adds just a little bit of twinkle and helps solidify the fact that this is a modern metal baffle. Paradigm continued this bold and almost industrial look on the rear of the cabinet by placing a black brushed aluminum plate amp, which really gives this aesthetic a cohesive, well thought out, and well-rounded appeal. The heavy metal outriggers are no exception. They too were clearly an attention to detail that Paradigm wanted to get right. They also served their purpose of lifting the speaker off the ground to give that downward firing port some room to breathe. They also make the speaker incredibly stable. I believe that Paradigm did use the somewhat cliche adage of them being more than the sum of their parts in their marketing material, but they are 100% right. The sum of all the parts used equals a very well-built floor stander that proudly boasts its quality materials and looks. To sum it up in simple terms, these speakers use quality materials and are put together in such a way that gives them an absolutely stellar appearance. Although these may look like a work of art, They don't have the privilege of just sitting there to look pretty. They are speakers after all, so they also need to vibrate your eardrums in a pleasing way. And this is where it gets more subjective and a little less cut and dry, in my opinion. Do these sound good? Well, that is more in the ear of the beholder, but I will do my best to help you understand their sound. Before I do, you can first be the judge for yourself on these demos. As always, my demos come with a disclaimer, and that is that my room, my recording equipment, as well as the device that you listen on will greatly affect the sound. So don't take this as an accurate depiction of what I'm hearing in my room. And for these demos, the subwoofers and room correction have been disabled. So all you are hearing is solely the 120H left and right speakers. All right, enjoy the demos.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, shit on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that.
You were too full of lies, not what I thought. In the midnight, you ordered just avoid me, got so high.
As you can hear, the 120Hs have a stellar sound, but just for curiosity's sake, here are some of the same demos on the Founder 40B stand mount speakers for those that may be wondering, but please do keep in mind that they were not level matched, so there is going to be some volume differences here. This is more so just to show you the sound of each, but not to be an exact comparison.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, shit on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone...
As you can hear, the Founder lineup of speakers do have an absolutely beautiful sound, but let me know what you thought about the sound down in the comments below. I'm also not going to be comparing the 40Bs to the 120Hs in this video, but let me know that if you would be interested in a video like that, in case you are wondering about purchasing, say, a Bookshelf 40B with subwoofers versus purchasing just the 120Hs without subwoofers. But as for the sound itself on the 120H towers, the first thing that struck me and really stood out about them is that they are a bit on the warmer side, hence my opening statement to this video. I had the Legacy Audio Focus SE towers before these 120Hs, which were flat in their response, so the warm presentation of the Founders really stood out at first. But with first impressions aside, let's start off with the top end. The 1-inch tweeter and waveguide provide some excellent top end detail without being harsh at all. I feel that Paradigm has done an excellent job keeping the treble from sounding harsh or fatiguing. They managed to be quite airy as well. I will say they aren't quite as detailed as the AirMotion tweeters in the Legacy speakers, but they are about 85% there. Cymbals have a nice crisp sound and decay very nicely without being harsh on your ears. Digitally produced sounds in pop or hip-hop songs are also very clear and precise while separating themselves from the rest of the song. They don't stand out as in being out of balance, but stand out in a sense that you can tell they are nicely layered. For a dome tweeter, they are very well done and provide a smooth top end that makes songs easy to listen to. That being said, there is still a good amount of detail, so a really bad recording will still be a really bad recording on these speakers. They aren't miracle workers. Keeping with the smooth sound is the mid-range. The mids on these towers are very rich, warm, and very inviting. I feel this warmth and richness adds a bit more realism to most, if not all, instruments. And not to turn this into a comparison, but I feel the clinical detail on the Legacies subtracted just a little from the instruments sounding real. Yes, you have every single little detail in the song with the Legacy, but I do believe the Paradigms are a little more tonally accurate. That being said, I do feel the layering in the mid-range could use a little bit of work. That isn't to say that it's bad, actually far from it, but there is some room for improvement there. But my goodness, do these speakers provide some amazing vocals. Whether female or male, they are like a warm blanket on a cold winter evening. So smooth and rich, they work wonders on music. I would slightly lean towards classifying these speakers as musical. That's not to say that they don't perform very well for home theater, because they really do, but that warmth is still present with movies. So if you are looking for an absolutely flat, neutral response, just know that these speakers are a little bit warm for movies as well. I do find it gives some nice richness and weight to lower voices though, which I actually like in movies. And since we are talking about weight, let's talk about this Godzilla-like bass response. As I stated earlier, these are a hybrid speaker, meaning that there is a 1000 watt RMS and 2000 watt peak plate amp at the back of each tower speaker, powering the three 8-inch Carbon X woofers. If you are looking for a tower speaker with absolutely incredible bass, look no further. These are for you. On the website, it states that they are rated down to 22 Hertz, but in room, you should get usable output down to about 18 Hertz. We aren't talking about mediocre, typical tower bass either. We are talking about large, room-filling, powerful, impactful bass that you can even feel in your chair. They accomplish that while remaining clean and hard-hitting as well. I can say unequivocally that this is the best bass response I have ever heard in my room from any tower speaker, period. I have no doubt that most of you watching would be happy with the hefty low end that these can provide without a subwoofer. That would even apply to a home theater if you aren't a bass head. I am a bass head, so I do use these with my 3JTR RS2 subwoofers, but I do like to turn the subwoofers off at times when listening to music, just to give the 120Hs an opportunity to impress me time after time with their gargantuan low end. I don't want to give the impression that it isn't balanced or that it is boomy in any way. It is actually very well balanced and the opposite of boomy in my room. I believe even the discerning audiophile would be impressed. And even if you aren't, you have ARC, one of the world's best room correction softwares, baked right into the speaker to clean up the bass even further for your room. That is actually a lot of room shaking value to be baked right into a speaker, and not something that many speakers can brag about. And because of the heavy bass, rich mids, and detailed highs, these speakers present very well even in a large room. I didn't find them to be too picky with toe-in to provide a locked-in center image, and even though they are only about 2 feet from the back wall, they have a clean, wide soundstage. This is helped by the fact that they have a downward firing port. Paradigm has really done an excellent job on the sound. Overall, these are very easy to listen to, and for their price, they offer a lot of sonic value with their built-in bass amplification and room correction software. In my honest opinion, you would be very hard-pressed to complain about the sound. The team that designed and built these speakers really hit the nail on the head. Not only do you have a speaker that has looks to kill, they also provide you with a nice warm hug of sonic pleasure every time you turn them on. So if you are looking for a polished aesthetic and an overall pleasing sound for both movies and music that can shake the room if you want them to, you need to go listen to the Founder 120H towers. And if you are in the Calgary, Alberta area, go see John at Bass Electronics. He has the whole Founder series set up in his listening room so that you can go and check them out there. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Tick the bell icon if you do, and take just one little second to hit that like button. Remember to enjoy your systems. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.